Alaska's never really had a strong an energy code or building code that said, okay, you need to manage your energy use for commercial buildings. And so they kind of said, well, let's find out what's out there. What is the lay of the land? Let's create, if you will, a map of energy consumption so that people know where they are.
Wasted energy for public buildings is wasted tax dollars, essentially. So this report hopefully shines some light on that and allows policymakers, school districts, and the public to say, hey, this is now we know how much our energy use is, now what can we do to fix that? What can we do to reduce that?
You have some very distinct differences between buildings owned and operated by the same organization. And so when you start digging in deeper, you start looking at how are buildings being operated. It's not necessarily, there is something to, you know, how good is your wall insulation, your ceiling insulation, how tight is the structure, are you over ventilating, are you under ventilating? But another key aspect is how are you operating the building? One of the steps that's important in this process is maintaining training, or if there is not a level of training, setting up a level of training so that your staff is knowledgeable, knows their systems, knows why the systems is important, and how to change it if it's not quite set properly.
I think it's because of the incentive system that they have here. I think it's because for the past, 10 to 15 years, the Fairbanks School District has been pretty progressive in setting up a system where any money they save goes back into their budget, and so they can keep reinvesting that.
They've really embraced the thought that if they can reduce those energy costs, it will be of a long-term benefit from the facilities and maintenance perspective. So maintenance people will, if in the course of their own work, come across an energy efficient measure or an energy efficient device or a newly emerging technology, they can bring it to higher ups and suggest that, hey, can we try this for a pilot project? They'll try it as a pilot project. If it's really working better, has better life cycle costs, etc., then they'll work it into the maintenance cycle. And as a result, you know, they're looking at now their energy cost on a per square foot basis now is actually equal, well, it's still slightly higher, but it's almost equal to Anchorage's, despite Anchorage having fuel that's 1/3 the cost of that in the interior. They may look at that list of 54 things and say, you know, I could walk through my buildings this afternoon and check this one. And they may find that, yeah, they're doing great, but if they did this, they'd be even better. Or they, you know, it could be the other way around. They could look at what's going on and say, why am I twice the other buildings in my area? And, you know, at that point, they may call up Joe, who they've had coffee with, you know, twice a month for 5 years, and say, Joe, how are you outperforming me on buildings? What are you doing in your building that's different than I am? You know, it may not have been a conversation that they've ever had before, but now he knows he needs to have it.